Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday. Hey, Punkette. So, I know I've got to be a little more professional in some of my lives, sitting at my desk and stuff, but I just love during the day because New York just doesn't get a lot of sun. I just love sitting by this window when it's nice out like this. So, um, forgive me for not being extremely professional at a desk, but it's so pretty. We have a lot of things to talk about today, and I wanted to give an update on Kylie. But then, hey, Caddy Text, I was just thinking about you. Um, I was like, I hope she's okay. Hey, Solo. So one thing with my membership, y'all, that I'm trying to do is I do have a Discord. I've got to post it in the members only, a Discord setup that you're welcome to join. Oh, I know, Punkette. My daughter, since I told her about what you said, and you guys say that I know she's planning it. She's just waiting for the day to like scare me or something. And I have my husband's work shirt on, which makes me look like I just basically, should be out on the road with a traffic cone. Hey, Remy. So there is a Discord. I'm trying to get better at making sure I check it because I keep forgetting about it. But I'm going to make sure I do some special member things and whatnot because I'm just kind of learning all of it. So bear with me as I learn it. I know you guys are just waiting one of these days. It will really be funny and terrifying at the same time. So, because my webcam, I couldn't find it. I was like, why is it not here yet? Why is it not here? Hi, Bexy. I love Bexy 830. Bexy 830, you guys, if you don't know, she is from Uvalde, and she had remind me if I'm correct, Bexy, your nephew or your grandson? One of those um, was actually hurt in the Robb Elementary shooting, but thank the Lord is okay, is a survivor. But I'm working on trying to figure out how to help them, the survivors, because if you haven't heard, I have confirmed the money that is supposed to go to your cousin, okay, that is supposed to go to the Uvalde survivors and the victim's family that was donated to the school. Yeah, you have to apply for it, and it won't even be till like November. They're holding the money. So yeah, anyways, um, yeah, right now some of those they've had to sell plates and do fundraisers for some of the survivors' families, but that gets me all heated. Um, Gosh, I was just so I couldn't find my webcam and I'm like freaking out and I was about ready to email Amazon and say it didn't come and it was said it was delivered and I look upstairs, I'm going to the bathroom one day and there it is in my daughter's room, hooked up to her computer. She has her webcam. And I was like, that was this morning and I said, I will take that and took it away. Hey, X amount of words, what'd you just hear? Hey, Rena. Rena, did you get my message? Just please be careful. I'm going to tell you before I play the video, okay? So, I did find my webcam and I will get it set up. Anyways, hey, Grandma Sherry. Awesome, punk. Yeah, yeah, X amount of words. So we are going to talk about that. That's going to be our focus. I'm going to go over a little bit about, hey, Muffin Top, Kylie, but to be quite honest, there is not much update. The only thing that obviously everybody, for the most part, knows about the actual chaos of that false call in last night and the false given that everyone thought basically that she had been found and that in fact is not correct. Let me just give you a few. This is straight from her mom and law enforcement and stuff. The updates. Her mom did do kind of an update interview, so we're gonna watch that quick. But um, just to give you a rundown, Kylie actually had decided last minute to go to this party. She was not going to go to the party. She was actually going to go with her mom to a car show. and instead she obviously went. So she did have Snap activity, which I investigated. Does that mean that she actually like was wrote something on Snapchat? She had that at 12:30. Oh my gosh, no, Solo, I didn't see that. No, Remy, that's a huge issue because that was, yeah, that was not good. No, she wasn't correct at all. Um, so they have asked volunteers, because now they're getting more volunteers, to please make sure they don't disturb evidence. So I don't necessarily know what they're talking about, though, is not necessarily even just like a physically tangible piece of evidence, but even as much as footprints. They've had over 900 tips, but the thing is, they're not tips from people they need. Exactly, Remy. I had just actually talked to Britt about how, like, I just wish some of the bigger channels, I feel like sometimes it's a lot of clickbait, but um, they need the students to be coming forward. So let's just watch her interview quick, and then I really want to focus on Anne. She did pass away a little while ago. Anne, I don't know how to say her last name, Heche or Heche. She has been in multiple different movies, is a famous actress. Um, and her story is one. The reason I want to share about her story is because it's pretty tragic in a sense where, yeah, I'll tell you about it then. There's some things that have kind of disgusted me, which I know isn't a shocker, but yeah, the tips that are coming in aren't tips that are coming from the people that they need it to come from.
It's been a week now since a 16-year-old girl went missing from a campground party near Lake Tahoe in California. Police releasing this picture of the hoodie that Kiely Rodney was wearing at the party just before she disappeared. Her parents are asking for her help in finding her. Kiely's mother, Lindsay Rodney Neiman, joins us.
Oh, what is happening? How can my internet be lagging? Hold on.
Us now.
There we go.
Lindsay, everybody
This
is
is her
just
mom.
obviously concerned and watching your story and praying for you and praying that your daughter turns up. Can you give us an update on this hour at any developments with this search?
Right now, I have not received any new updates from any of the law enforcement who are working on it. I know that they will be holding their own press conference shortly, and I'm sure if there's anything that they're ready to share, they'll be sharing it with everyone then.
16 years old. She was last seen at this party where we're told there was upwards of 300 people there. She was last seen 12:30 in the morning. She had texted you just before then saying she was going to come home. I believe that was 12:15, 15 minutes before she disappeared. What did she say to you in that text, Lindsay?
She told me that the text was at 11:30, and she told me that she was planning on leaving around 12:15 and was going to be heading home. I asked her to be safe and to let me know when she got home to wake me up, and she said she would, and love you, Mama. And that was the last time that she texted me.
You've had so much time to think about this. Are you coming up with any ideas in your head, considering her car is still missing, correct?
Yes, correct.
Are you hopeful at all that perhaps she, that maybe she decided to go somewhere on her own?
Of course I'm hopeful.
Well, duh.
Without hope, what is life?
Hey, Salem.
So what are police able to tell you right now about their search and any developments in this search? I know that a big part of this has been pulling all the cell phone footage of the 300 people at that party and talking to every single one of them to perhaps see if anybody unusual was in the pictures or the video at that party, someone that they did not know. Has anything come from looking at all that video footage?
As far as I know, they're still looking. They have a dedicated team of people who are looking through all of that video. They're still asking for more. If there's any teens or anybody who was at the party who still has footage that they've not sent, there's easy ways to send it in. There's anonymous ways to send it in. And yeah, we're still, you know, hope again. We're still hoping that something will come up. A picture can tell 1,000 words, and so that's the picture that we're looking for right now.
Absolutely. Lindsay, one of the most recent revelations was this shirt, this hoodie she was seen wearing with the lyrics of a song, "You don't want to be forgotten, you just want to disappear." Did you know that she owned that shirt? Had you seen it before?
That sweater belongs to one of her good friends. Lana Del Rey is a musician who sings so eloquently and has so many beautiful lyrics that can be quoted and put on a shirt. I think that it's not helpful to go down any rabbit holes or follow any red herrings about you know, a sweater from a concert that had a pretty picture on it.
Got it. Please keep us posted. We're praying for you and this search for your daughter, Lindsay. Our hearts go out to you. We can not even imagine how difficult this is. We're all hopeful, Lindsay. Thank you very much for joining us.
I still think that's a possibility, Rebellious. Yeah, that that news woman, wow. First of all, of course the mom is hoping. I will say that mom seemed very much a lot better today, as far as she is now like in mom mode of I'm gonna find my daughter. And you know, obviously at first you're kind of in shock, but now she seems very much like, all right, let's go, let's do this. I'm glad she addressed that about the sweater. People were making, and not necessarily in here, but have been making such a big deal about that sweater. It was borrowed. It's a musician's words. Like there was, I don't think there was any. It was 46 degrees. She had a bodysuit on. I'm sure she just needed a sweatshirt, and so she asked a friend. So just like her mom was saying, like, come on. But yes, again, until I don't think that there is going to be a huge amount to update unless somebody comes forward. It does, Solo. Um yeah, Rebellious. I checked, and apparently the night of between August 5th and 6th was like the coldest of the summer. It was like 46 degrees. Hey, Pamela. Was it a 2015? I didn't know if it was a 2013 or 15. Um, so I keep, you know, I watch Facebook and stuff in some of those groups, but you should, Saul. I also like everybody just kind of repeats the same things as far as their theories and stuff. And again, I just don't think that there's going to be any big breakthrough until somebody talks, and somebody will eventually. I hope. I think a teen or somebody will, I don't know, slip up in their words. I am confused of why. I don't know, Pamela. That hasn't been confirmed yet, but I have heard that they were allegedly. Um, I'm shocked that more haven't come forward. Now, the newscaster wasn't all like, I don't know how much I trust her, but she said Sammy, I always do this. Kiely was last seen at 12:30. I didn't know if she was actually last seen or if that was just the last time that she was active on Snapchat. I don't think she was actually like seen. No, Solo. Yeah, it's cold up there. It's all saying. I thought that too until I looked at the weather, and some days can be like 80 and some days can be really cold, but the nights and mornings are very cold. So, I don't know, Remy. I do think that that's what they're checking into. Oh yeah, absolutely, Punkette. I don't know why she's not following it at all. That I mean, that is definitely weird that Kiely and Sammy weren't following each other on social media. Um, yeah, I do know that. Like I mean, they've been diving. God bless those divers and stuff, and they've been out there. So I don't think they've had a lack of resources. That's for sure. but I think they're just very frustrated because the people that need to come forward aren't coming forward. So, and I don't know why. That's the only thing that makes me worried is the quietness of it, that no one's coming forward is what makes me like, I don't understand. Because police have said in this case there'll be no charges filed or anything like that for, the underage drinking and stuff. Nobody really cares about that at this point, but still, they just can't. She said there was up to, but now people are saying, yeah, it's a tip line getting that there's potentially close to 400 people. And I was like, are you kidding me? I mean, I would be surprised about that, but still 300 people, and they said they've only talked to a fraction of those people. And you know, like I said, mom looks better today I thought than she did the other I think she's in mom mode. Um, Dad, when I saw an actual picture of him like speaking yesterday, he looks like he hasn't slept. Like that poor family, they're just really desperate, I think, for any glimpse of actual hope. Yeah, that's what I saw was like 900. It's insane. It's insane. So that's kind of where we're at on that. Is southeast from Reading. They've got some yeah, Remy, it's a lot to cover. A lot. And there's multiple reservoirs, it's not just the Prosser family ones, or Prosser one. It's insane when I looked down there how many different reservoirs there were. And obviously they have said that she was wearing that jewelry that night. So, that is good that we have a picture of her wearing that actually. Oh, thanks, Sandy. That actual jewelry as well as the bodysuit. So, I mean, that's a pretty fortunate to have the exact picture of what she was wearing. Oh my gosh, Sully. Yeah, no thanks for me wandering around there. Good skiing country, though. But all right, if you guys are aware, Sam. Oh, hey Gizmo. Gizmo, good to see you. Sammy or Remy, Sammy, yeah, I don't fully trust her. I think that she probably doesn't, maybe, I don't know. People think she had something to do with it. I don't necessarily know that she had something to do with it. I think she might have had some jealousy of Kiely. I think she came forward and then realized that like she liked kind of some of the attention that was happening with it, and but then she couldn't keep up with her own stories, so then they started getting messed up, and now she's gone pretty quiet, and my guess is she was probably has a lawyer that told her to stop, or the FBI or somebody said you need to shut your mouth because she's changed the stories a lot. Yeah, so it's like one of those situations I think where like yeah, I mean, not even following each other on social media is odd. If you're that close to somebody, you typically follow them, but Sammy and Kylie's boyfriend follow you. There's just a lot of weird things in that situation that doesn't make a lot of sense. So if you guys aren't familiar with Anne Heche, I think is how she was an actress. It says she starred in Chicago PD, as well as she was married for a brief time to Ellen DeGeneres. She, I was trying to see, two boys, one is 14 and one is 20. She was in an accident uh, last Friday, August 5th. And when I say accident, you're about to see it. It was probably one of the worst. It's awful. She actually had some severe burns and brain damage. The weird thing about her, exactly, Remy. The weird thing was that in the image you're going to see in some of the footage, she actually sits up at when they're trying to get her in the ambulance. Allegedly, though, she had slipped into a coma shortly after that and passed of it's called like and something basically brain injury. And she also had severe burns that were going to need extreme extreme amount of surgery, basically. So we're gonna watch the video. I'm trying to see what else she starred in here. The Brave, whatever that is, Dancing with the Stars, she was on, Gracie's Choice, Psycho in 1998. Yeah, I don't know all these. But anyways, I think she had quite a lucrative yeah, Amber, I agree. Yes. So it volcano. Okay. So in the so the reason I feel really sad about this situation, so Alec Baldwin, yes, it did solo, issued a statement saying, he rest in peace, all yes, another world, all this kind of stuff. And apparently out of all the comments, there was 800 comments absolutely slamming him for supporting her and stuff. And it was really awful. So one thing about her is that, and let me put this up because this is actually gets pretty, was in 1983, she was, no, what does it say? I just want to make sure I get the dates right. She had dealt with a lot of PTSD. She was apparently SA'd by her father, who died of AIDS when she was young, when he died at, not really young, but died at 45. And hold on, I'm trying to put this trigger warning up. So she had dealt with a lot of mental illness. I wanted to get the, so in year 2000, she drove from Los Angeles to Cantua Creek wearing a bra and shorts. She did go she has gone into some, rehabs and stuff in the past. She revealed when she did that she had taken ecstasy. So I mean, she's been taken by ambulance to the psychiatric units. Herself, she herself has said that for the first 31 years of her life, she was insane, triggered by being what she was by her father. Um, so what we do, so she did have in her system, it did not, they determined she did not at this point have alcohol in her system, but that she did have, I know, Amber Riot, she did have cocaine in her system and fentanyl. But however, disclaimer for the fentanyl, they said that does come in a lot of pain medications. So they don't necessarily know if that what that, if it was that. But there is a picture of her that has gone around, and it was of, I believe, of that day, where you can see alcohol in her, like, what do you call that, middle compartment. But so she gets, actually, we're going to look at it here, gets in 2 car wrecks. So she gets in a wreck and hits like a it's hard to describe, like a, what do you call those things, oh, storage unit. She hits a storage unit. They tried to get her out of her car. Right, Remy, that's a good point. Try to get her out of her car, but she wouldn't get out. So then she takes off, and this is again, this is her. Now listen carefully. This is her while when her car speeds by. Now keep in mind, y'all, this is a residential area, okay? You can hear her crash one more time. Just yeah, she was speeding. I mean, speeding. It does say she almost hit a couple people, but so that's how fast she was going, and you can hear the crash. Now, oh, it's so terrible. If you know one thing about cocaine, is that it is to it, obviously like a stimulant, and it speeds her up. So with that too, that her driving, Pamela, I think when we heard the brakes squeal the first time, Black Cat, it did. I think when we heard it, it was because she had just turned. So when she hit the, you know what? Let me just pull it up. It's easier that way. It's down here in the video. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so here is where I believe she first hit the storage unit. Nope, wrong one. One second. So this is a picture you guys can see right there of the bottle. That is in the image. I mean, yeah. Where is that video? I thought it was on here. It's right here. This isn't the crash, but this is the aftermath of it. Now I want you to watch carefully. This is them bringing her out. That was the fire that was started, that was a ramification of the crash. So they bring her out. Did they, sorry, I was checking something out. Did they bring her out yet? Yeah. So that part is pretty. Yeah, she was. So she has a 20-year-old son and a 14-year-old son. Now, I wanted to also show you, one second. So this is when she gets ready to, let me pull this up here, y'all. So there was actually 2 accidents. So hold on. Let me share this one. This was the first one. Yeah, her brother drove into a tree and her estranged sister died of cancer. So this is the first part of the accident. That is her. See, she rounds that corner. I think that's where we hear the squealing. The squealing. Oh, yes, he did. So he died 2 months after. So her dad died 2 months after of HIV complications after her brother died. Yeah, Tony, hey, Beatlemaniac, I have no problem. I feel absolutely horrible for anybody. Well, first of all, let me say, I feel thankful that she didn't hurt somebody in this. However, my heart breaks for her boys, and my heart breaks for her that she couldn't get the help she needed, and that what she went through in her life, um, it did result in a house fire. The person within the house had minor energies and was treated and released. It took 65 minutes to basically put out the fire. So she did sit up, but then it said when she got to the hospital, she went into a coma. It was anoxic brain injury was what she was on life support, but the only reason she was hey Jameson remained on life support was because of she really was passionate about organ donation, and so what they were waiting for was to make sure they could see how many of her organs were viable. There was something that I wanted to what? So this is weird. So Twitter is saying, according to the LA Times, yeah, I would not, I mean, you would never be criticized for supporting her and grieving her. I mean, she did not have an easy life. And yeah, it's weird. So yeah, LA Times is saying that her heart's still beating. Well, I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss 6 days, 7 nights. That's what I was trying to think of. Um, Harrison Ford, that's right. So she has been deemed brain dead. I don't know, Aaron. I think her heart is one. I'm not sure, but they had to make sure that they were, I guess, viable to transplant, and so they haven't said one way or another that they. That's what it is, Mo. Yes, whether or not they are, but I'm sure that will come out. Says she was just taken off life support, and that's yeah. Said it has long been her choice to donate her organs, and she is being kept on life support to determine if they were viable, probably because of that. She was at the Grossman Burn Center because she did have a ton of burns that needed to be don't like physically and surgically taken care of. Yeah, it's just a sad situation all along, all over the place. I get it, Aaron. I get it. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. I don't know if if they'll be able to use them or not. I get what you're saying, Aaron. I get it. She's been in a coma. Yeah. Oh, is that how it works, Amber? Okay. So like if I gotcha. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Tattoos. We are just talking about Kylie's. There's no big updates, and as well also Anne Heche. Her lungs were damaged. Okay. Yeah. But we have to remember she has a 14-year-old boy and a 20-year-old boy. And from my understanding, when she was in a better state of mind, she, she was pretty, like, she did a lot with her boys and stuff. So, any way you slice it, there's no winners. I am thankful no one else got hurt in this situation. I do know that allegedly her family, as well as a lot of people, have raised money for the woman's house that, she ran into. Yeah. Yeah, those children have gone through too much, and you hear, and her life as well have gone through so much. It's just trauma after trauma, and that's really sad. And that's kind of the situation where we have the, choice to break. Hey, Jen. You too, Jen. We have a choice to break the family cycle, and sometimes we do, and sometimes we just can't get out of it. And I think this is one of those situations where she just could not escape. I guess you'd call them her demons from, not necessarily her demons, but escape the past that she had endured and stuff. There was something though about the mental health that caught my eye, and I can't find it now. So like her parents are both still alive. And so if you think about it, she knocked on somebody's door and said she was an oh my goodness, I didn't know that. Her parents are still alive, so you shouldn't ever have to. Now, wait a second. Her mom and her stepdad. Her dad has passed, we talked about, from HIV. But I'm going to type in something. You know what? Let's watch something. Let's watch something. Actually, thank you. Let's watch something because that just brought me to something. Because there is something we can learn from the situation again of we've talked so much about mental health. 1 second, guys, I just found it. Wow. 1 second. Sorry, y'all. I really want to find this. Let me type it in Google and see if. But no, I mean, you're as a mother, you shouldn't have to lose 3 of your kids. Here we go. Found it. Whoops. Oh, it's an ad, y'all. Just you're listening to Disney World stuff right now.
Phenomenal and will blow your mind. You can't beat the music.
Move your body. We only read it once, so we're gonna.
All right, thanks for enduring this ad. She was 53.
Call Me Crazy by me.
As Anne Heche records her book on tape, an extraordinary story unfolds of abuse, tragedy, and insanity.
I stood at the top of the staircase. My breath was silent as I inhaled, closed my eyes, held out my arms, and leapt.
Anne, are you crazy?
I'm not crazy now. I lived a crazy life. I was raised in a crazy
Hey,
family,
Alex.
and it took me 31 years to get the crazy out of me.
You wrote in your book that you were insane. Those are your words. Insane for 31 years. You're 32 now.
I had another personality. I had a fantasy world that I escaped to. I called my other personality Celestia. I called the other world that I created for myself the fourth dimension. I believed I was from that world. I believed I was from another planet. I think I was insane.
We had just begun our interview, the first time Anne has talked about her life when she was overcome with emotion. Take your time. All right? You want some water? Can we start with your childhood?
Yep.
We'll do it together. Okay? Let me show you a picture.
Sure.
This is a family picture. It's a lovely picture. All of these smiling, attractive people.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
On the surface, the Heche family was the epitome of the perfect American family. Deeply religious, 4 blonde-haired, blue-eyed children, a smiling mother, and a father in charge of the church choir. When you look at this, what do you see?
A bunch of lies. That family is a lying family.
The image was far from the reality. Don Heche, the choir director, was, according to Anne, an abusive father, chronically unemployed and leading a bizarre double life.
At that time, my father had AIDS. We were almost homeless. About a month before we became homeless, we took that picture. We were a disaster.
How can a mother not know that her child, her young baby girl, is being raped by her husband? How can a mother not know? When does a mother break the rules?
Any abuse is horrifying, but this was something very different. You talk about it in your book. Can you talk about it now?
Sure, I can tell you what I know.
Okay.
I believe I was sexually abused by my father from the time I was a very young girl, actually before I could speak, up until the time I was 12.
How did he abuse you?
In my memory,
Yes.
he raped me. He stuck his in my mouth. He fondled me. He put me on all fours and had sex with me.
When you were a toddler?
In my memory, yes. My father would always undress in front of me, beckon me to bed as if I was his lover. I remember entering the bed with him many times.
Did your mother know?
I can't say whether or not my mother knew.
You never told her?
I did not tell her until I was in my 20s. I had herpes from the time I was a very young girl.
Because he was entering your mouth.
Yes, that's my belief. I remember being 6 years old and saying, "Mommy, what's on my face?"
You had a rash.
I had sores. I had welts on my nose and on my lips.
When
Oh
you
my
talk about your father
gosh.
abusing you, you say, "In my memory." Does that mean that there's a possibility that it didn't happen?
I think it's always hard for children to talk about abuse because it is only memory. But I didn't carry around a tape recorder. I didn't chisel anything in stone. And I think that's part of why people don't talk about abuse, because
I
anybody
know
can look and
tattoos.
say, we had been boarded out of our last house. We had yellow tape on the door saying, "Keep out, no admittance." And we were homeless.
The Heche family spent 2 years living with neighbors. Finally, Anne's mother threw her father out. Free of his wife and children, Don Heche moved to New York. The family was shocked when they realized that their church-going father was
Exactly,
wildly,
Remy.
flamboyantly gay. The 80s, Don Heche was embracing the unfettered nightlife and unprotected sex of the time.
Sometimes we would be walking arm in arm on the curb, unable to get a breath. He would promise me that nothing was wrong, and then he'd disappear for hours at a time. Dad died on March 4th, 1983. He was one of the first cases of AIDS diagnosed in the United States.
When you learned that your father had AIDS, did you think, "I might have AIDS"?
Absolutely. But I thought I was going to die.
The illusion was no more. The
Oh my
perfect family had collapsed, and Anne would spend the next 20 years in a tortured search.
I think everything I've done in all my insanity was trying to get my parents to love me. My father loved movie stars. I decided I needed to become famous to get his love. My
Oh
mother
my
loved Jesus. That was her thing. So I wanted to become Jesus Christ. I wanted to save the world to get her love. I went to the utmost of extremes.
A movie star to get your father to love you, Jesus Christ to get your mother.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. It was a race. I had them neck and neck. I would do anything I possibly could. Just
You wrote, "Not getting love was what drove me crazy." Many people don't get love, but they don't go insane.
I think there are different levels of insanity. I did a lot of things in my life to get away from what had happened to me. I drank. I smoked. I did drugs. I had sex with people. I did anything I could to get the shame out of my life.
Call me crazy. By me.
That is, I'm sure if you went to YouTube, the rest of the 2020 interview would be there. But I want to highlight here what Remy said, and I will probably, that was pretty intense. So I will probably go ahead and private this live. I would like it to be left up so people could, um, well, see it and maybe have some empathy towards her and understanding, and also an understanding of what she went through as a child and what a lot of people are going through. But I don't want people to flip out about it because it's, a trigger warning. But I was actually surprised that was on 2020 that much. But you know, the way she says, my whole life I did whatever I thought would give me the love I needed to. Her father loved actresses, so she became one. Her mother loved Jesus, so she wanted to be Jesus. It, now, Barbara Walters' comment about a lot of people don't have love and don't become Jesus. But yeah, I mean, I get that, but it's just one of those things where it's just like, but Remy said it perfectly. How many people knew she was basically a functioning addict, and how many glossed over it? Did anyone try to help her? Maybe they did, but I think it's harder too because she was in the Hollywood lifestyle and she had money, and it's just sad. It's a very sad situation, I think, to look back and go, now that she's passed, and to just be like, she just couldn't escape it. She just couldn't escape that pain. Yeah, no, I know, Solo. I've said before, Pamela said, my sister died from alcoholism. We as a family tried it. Yep, alcohol made you. Oh my gosh, Remy, I am so hard. Or I'm so hard. I'm so sorry. That sounds terrible because I thought you said. Yes, it is, Rena. Well, I don't know, Rena. It's still about, we're talking about alcoholism and stuff, but yeah, tattoos says it. My dad was a rich, powerful man, and no one could help him but him. That's the thing. She just couldn't escape it. It seems the more money people make, yeah. Yeah, true, Mo. I lived with my ex and his mother. He went to countless rehabs. I had to get over it. Yeah. It's so crazy though, because how many families do we look at and we think they have the perfect life? I mean, if you looked at her family, right, just like she said, he was the choir director. All the kids were these beautiful blonde hair, blue-eyed kids, and mom was always put together, and everybody thought it was just this glorious family. But behind closed doors, it was an absolute nightmare. Yeah, Rena, that's a really good point. Oh my gosh, Pamela. So Pamela's sister snuck vanilla extract and cough syrup into rehabs. Rebellious, if you're here, can you drop Rena's channel? She talks a lot about this kind of stuff over there, y'all. She doesn't go live, but she does videos. I mean, it was crazy because there's a picture of her on her son's 13th birthday at the beach, and she looked really like happy and like her face was filled out. But then when you see the picture of her in recent months, it's really, really terrible. And the crazy thing is that remember we saw the alcohol thing in her car? Alcohol wasn't even in her system when she died. So, I mean, she must have had a pretty normal routine of drinking in her. Tattoos, that is super powerful. You know, tattoos, have you ever shared any of the story? Because that is a very powerful story. It's just a powerful statement right there, y'all. My dad was a millionaire, but the saddest millionaire I've ever met. So in some ways, when they say money can't buy you happiness, that's true, Black Cat, that as well, yep. Yeah. So I don't think we're going to talk about Courtney, the Instagram murder today, because this kind of feels like a good, I want to, finish this live being about her. That story is crazy in itself, and I'm sure Alex, I think, did a live on it, the Instagram personality that just killed her boyfriend in April. I'd rather have my dad back and live in a tent under the bridge. True. Well, yeah, I mean, part of it is because these Hollywood celebrities and stuff. Okay, let's just talk about Kiely's situation. So Kylie's, they had a lot of, it's been said, and there's a pretty good chance there was, oh my gosh, tattoos, seriously? There was a lot of drugs in that area, but there's a lot of money in that area. So there's like, I think it is when you're in Hollywood and stuff, you have money upon money to buy whatever you need to. Tattoos, that is just so sad. Wow. I'm so sorry. That's terrible. Oh, there's another press conference, Tony? I didn't know there was another press conference. Let me check. Is this uncommon for them to do this many press conferences? Another one? Hmm. Oh, that makes sense, Pamela trying to pressure the kids. Yeah. Yeah, if there is one at 1:30, I'm sure it'll be all over here. Also, celeb addictions don't impact their lives the same. True. True. Yeah, tattoos, it's different. The only thing I can think of, Pamela had a good thought trying to pressure the kids to talk. But somebody said if they want to be treated, they said, here's my mindset right now. If the kids want to be treated as adults, then we need to treat them as adult and just start bringing them in one by one. And when we find out it was there, and just start interrogating. But I mean, it would be difficult to do. Yeah, I don't see. I'm sure there's a press conference. I'm sure, but I just don't see it anywhere. Let me see. Placer County Sheriff, 3 new things. We've created a central location for community to upload tips. Wow. Off social media. So they have something that I know they wouldn't, Remy. They have a central location now to upload things from the internet, tips. Nothing but it says they still continue. Detectives are following up hundreds of leads. Yeah, I don't see anything that. Hmm. Yeah, exactly. Rebellious. I tweeted Placer Sheriff asking if official statements. Yeah, that was really weird. I was super surprised that they didn't come out with an official statement after that whole thing happened and everybody thought she was found. I mean, because it was everywhere. Yep, absolutely, Remy. True, true. Right, and it was dark, and so people might have seen her and not realized they saw her, you know? It's difficult. But all right, y'all. Well, I'm gonna hop off here and I guess feed my children. But our thoughts and prayers are with Anne's family for sure. Her boys, her family, as well as Kylie's family. But hopefully somebody comes forward quickly and hopefully we'll learn a little bit more in the press conference today than we've learned in the past 2 days. So yeah. Oh, Chuck might happen tonight. We might be doing Love Connection tonight. If we don't do Love Connection tonight, we're definitely doing Love Connection tomorrow night because we need a good laugh. Have a good rest of the day, guys. Thanks. We'll be talking to you later.